Okay, so it's been about an hour and change since we applied our epoxy grout to this non-slip diamond pattern quarry tile. So the first thing that we're going to do here is actually, I'm going to grab this. Water is going to be our best friend with this cleanup. So one of the things we can do to really prolong our cleanup time is just go ahead and mist the surface. You can do it lightly, you can do it heavy. Like I said before, water is not going to hurt this grout whatsoever. Actually, the more water the better, and the easier it's going to be for you to clean it up. This is a really easy way to get the water onto, say if you're grouting a wall in a shower, to get the water up there without making a huge mess. Mist that whole thing down. If you really look, I don't know if you can see it on camera or not. If you watch, when I spray it here, it's actually re-emulsifying it just from the spray of the, it's just clean, cool tap water. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take my noodle bug pad here and just start to work the surface of the tile. And I'm doing this really gently. I'm not applying very much pressure here at all. You know, I mean, I can even do it with 2 fingers and you can see it's just coming right off. The 2-finger method isn't very efficient though, so I'm going to go ahead and grab it and just kind of work the whole surface here. This is just going to start to re-emulsify everything. Get it to where we can come back and tool the joints and make everything nice and pretty. And then finally, eventually come back and final wipe, getting rid of all the excess epoxy on the surface. That off, and once again, I really don't have to worry too much about having excess water on the surface of the tile. It's not going to hurt anything. It's actually going to help us. It acts as a lubricant here. And this is just regular tap water. There's no chemicals in here. There's no, you know, ammonia, or I've heard people using vinegar, dish soap, and all sorts of stuff. Some companies actually have packets of chemicals that you put in the water. If you notice, I got rid of the gloves because at this point in the game, everything's been spread. It's not really too sticky anymore. I'm kind of just working through these little spots where I maybe left a little bit too much on. Back over everything. Now I kind of did like a little poll online to see what guys thought would be the most impressive tile to go ahead and leave epoxy grout on for well over an hour and watch me clean it off with minimal effort. And this was kind of the consensus, this tile that I'm using right here. So you can see, I mean, it's a lot easier to just get your hands in here and feel it yourself. You can see I'm really not using too much effort. This is going pretty quickly. You know, everybody would have expected this to take me a lot longer and to really have to put some more effort into it. In a lot of cases, if you're using an epoxy grout with this kind of tile, you gotta bust out like a buffing machine or some sort of a, you know, scrubbing machine to actually scrub out of all these little nooks and crannies that we have here. But I'm able to do this pretty easily just by hand. Another important thing to note is that my grout is staying pretty flush with the surface of my tile. I'm not really digging anything out here during this process, which is kind of key. Because if you dig all your grout out, then what's the point? You've kind of done yourself a disservice. Now that we've re-emulsified everything, we'll go ahead and give this. If I can even come and put a little bit more water on the surface. That's just going to make it easier for me to clean this. With my sponge, a little squeeze. I'm just going to come right back over the top here. And all I'm really doing is using the sponge like a squeegee to kind of pull all of the excess water off the top. I'm not really cleaning anymore. I'm just kind of pulling all that water that's sitting on the surface right off of there. See how nice and clean that is. Streak free, no residual haze left on the surface whatsoever. This is my own technique that I've developed over the years here. But the fancy schmancy ARDEX sponges really do help. They're awesome. And that's about it. I'm going to clean the rest of this up, and it'll take me another minute or so. But that's the entire process. This is, my wash water is cool tap water. There's no chemicals in here because I don't need them. You're going to have great success just by changing your water often and making sure that your tile looks like you want it to look before you leave the job. If there's no haze when you leave, there won't be any haze in the morning when you come back. That's about it. Thanks for watching.